Hello students, this is Chaitra here. I'll be handling computers to you for the whole year. So let us now see the contents of the whole year, what we are going to learn in this whole year, that is in the grade 6. So computer evolution, how the computer evolved, then generations of the computer, then Windows Explorer, more on the PowerPoint with basics, that is MS PowerPoint along with the basic things, and more on Word, that is MS Word with the basic things, more on workbook with the basic things, and social networking and e-commerce. So I have divided the first chapter into two parts, that is this is the part 1, that is phases of computer and the generations of computer. So in part B you are going to learn about the categories of computers and type of the working computers with some exercises. Now let us see how our computer evolved. So 5000 years ago abacus was born in China. So abacus is a calculating device which was born in China, whom you are also using now, the abacus. Next, in 1614, John Napier, a scientist, developed Napier bones. John Napier is well known for his algorithms, introduced Napier bones. Also, they are called as Napier rods. A manual calculator can perform multiplication from 2 to 9. So next is 1642, Blaise Pascal introduced Pascaline. It was the first digital computer with gears and wheels. So in the image you can see the gears, you can see the wheels. So using this they used to calculate the numbers. Now in 1612, Charles Babbage, who is also called as fathers of computers, introduced the first mechanical computer called as differential engine. Later he improved the differential engine to analytical engine, which is said to be our first computer. So you can see in the image our first computer. Next is in 1980, Hermann Hollerith introduced a tabulating machine, so which consists of a punch cards. You can see the image of the punch cards there. Then Hermann developed mechanical tabulating machine, which is based on the punch cards for input, storage and output. So the punch card consists of the input, and the punch card even consists of storage and output. So whatever the concept of input, output and storage came from 1890 through tabulating machine. So here you can see the people working on the tabulating machine. So it is the first storage device. So which is the first storage here, that is the tabulating machine is the first storage device. So the supercomputing word came from here. So he found a founder of a company, later it became the IBM. So in 1944, Howard Aiken and Grace Cooper developed a programmable electromechanical calculator. In 1946, John Macaulay and J. Presper designed general purpose electronic computer. So it is called as ENIAC. So general purpose electronic computer came in the year 1946. So here the electronic numerical integrator and calculator. So it was the numerical integrator, as well as it used to calculate the numbers or calculate the calculate the numbers. So then so you can just see the images ENIAC and EDISAC. So in 1949, John von Neumann developed EDISAC, that is electronic delay storage automatic computer. It was a practical stored program electronic computer. So practically we were used to store the programs in the EDISAC. So earlier we were doing as it is in the EDISAC, they used to store some programs. So it used vacuum tubes and then a memory. So vacuum tubes are normally used in the first generation, so and the memory. So in 1981, IBM made a full portable computer called as Osborne. So personal computers came into existence. So what we call the personal computers, it just came in 1981. So IBM were the first company to made all these personal computers. So you can just see in the images some of the personal computers, how it looked in 1981. So what we are using now and what it was in 1981. So let us see now some generations of computers. What are the generations of the computer? So the first generation is 1940 to 1956, made up of vacuum tubes, which was expensive and cost is high. So the first generation you can see in the image. So they consist of the vacuum tubes here. So which was very expensive and cost was high. The vacuum tubes cost was very high and slow processing. The processing also was very low. And the capacity produced lot of heat. So this vacuum tube, the heat generated was very more. So mainly for machine level language programming. So the first generation is dedicated to machine level language programming. Hope you know what is machine level language programming. So the languages were written in the machine codes, that is zeros and ones. So example is ENIAC, UNIVAC, IBM 650. So next is the second generation. that is made up of transistors. You can see the transistors image over there instead of vacuum tubes, which does not have a filament. So the heat comes out from the filament also got reduced. So operating system was high, operating speed was high. So instead of one vacuum tube, they used to use some more transistors, so that the operating speed also increased and the cost also became less. So vacuum tube cost was very high and the transistor cost was less. So size also became less. Transistor is small in size, and the input output devices became very fast. Next example is IBM 1401, then COBOL, that is Common Business Oriented Language, and Fortran Formula Translator were developed. These are some of the languages which were developed in the second generation. Next comes the third generation, that is 1964 to 70. So made up of integrated circuits. So what is integrated circuits? The resistors, capacitors and transistors. Earlier it was only transistors they used to use in the second generation. In the third generation they put on still resistors, capacitors and transistors. They three were combined and put in a single silicon chip. So size was reduced, processing speed also became very high. Earlier using the transistors only, the process speed was very high. Along with that, resistors and capacitors still made the processing to be very high. Then semiconductor memory devices were used to for the memory. So mainly for high level language programming. So high level language programming are the programming language which is near to the human beings. So whatever we write in the language that is in English, it is used to translate into the machine language. So mini computer came into existence. So example IBM 360, IBM 370. So next is beginner, that is basic beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code were developed. That is basic language was developed. Next is the first generation that started from 1971 and is still running till present. So made up of large scale integrated circuits, LSICs. So they are the large scale integrated circuits called as microprocessors. So microprocessors are nothing but the processors which is having very high speed. So central processing unit was placed on a single chip. So you can just able to see in the motherboard, inside the motherboard you get to see the microprocessor. So the present scenario systems are the fourth generation systems which consist of microcomputers and personal computers. So whatever you see in the personal computers, you can see the chip over there. Size varies from desktop, laptop and palm top. So desktop is the desktop, the systems which are kept on the desk, and the laptop are the systems that you can keep on the lap and you can work, and it is portable. You can just carry out everywhere, anywhere. So desktop is not portable. You need to keep it on the desk and you need to work on it. And palm top is also portable. You can just carry it in your pocket and you can just move. So high speed processing are accurate, reliable and versatile. Example IBM PC, Apple Macintosh. Next is the fifth generation, that is 1989 to present. Still it is running. So it was developed in 1989. So made up of ultra large scale integrated circuits. So which is having higher memory speed or processing speed. So they are called as ULSICs, called as artificial intelligence. So right now we know what is artificial intelligence. So it is a technique where machines are able to think like humans. They are nothing but the robots. So if we feed some instructions to the robots, then they will do all the human things and they need to think like humans. So you can interact with the robots. So this is the era which is going on today, and it has become very popular. This technique is very popular now. Next, let us answer answer the following questions. So you need to prepare, children, you need to prepare a family chart based on the generation, that is father's first generation. Grandfather is the first generation, father is the second generation, and you the third generation. So make a family chart and tell me grandfather's father and you. So talk about some three possibilities of fifth generation. You can just make a video, you can just show the chart. So then you can just explain me the chart, then you can just talk about the three possibilities of fifth generation, that is your artificial intelligence generation. So what are the uses and what are the advantages so of this artificial intelligence, and write any two advantages of all the generation, that is fifth, then the fourth, then third, and then second, and then first generation. So what were the advantages of the all these generations? You need to just tell. Any two advantages is okay for me. So you can just make a chart, you can explain me the generation of yours, and then you can just talk about the three possibilities of the fifth generation, that is the artificial intelligence. So what will happen from the what are the consequences of this fifth generation, and then write any two advantages of all the generations. Thank you, children.